Welcome back, sleepers of the sands, to another Dune Awakening Deep Desert resource and blueprint guide for the week of October 21st to the 27th. We have a really hot map newly spawned out on Arrakis, so stick around and see how the Coriolis storm has shifted your fate out among the great Shai-Hulud. But first, I want to take a quick minute to acknowledge all of you great supporters out there helping this video spread to a wider audience by liking, subscribing, and sharing with your Dune-related communities. This adventure is growing stronger, and you are the driving force powering its information engine. Thank you very much, and enjoy the Deep Desert map. And as far as maps go for today as well as past maps, you can definitely pinpoint this as being quite a balanced map, meaning each quadrant of the map has its own real reason for to be running stuff. And I basically split it into three quadrants this week for us to be looking at, that being the east, the west, and then a little focus here that is primarily on the center if this is what you are trying to gun for. However, what I can say is I've yet to see the dev team split the map up in such a defined, balanced manner, so I'm actually quite impressed. So kudos off to the Funcom devs for doing this. And so kicking it off, we can definitely see that the most active side this week, if you are into PvP, is going to be layered on the west side. The reason why I'm coming to this conclusion is rather simple. Not only is it because we do have three large spice plumes compared to the two that are on the east side of the map, but we also have two very large resource nodes for Stravinium and Titanium that you can get out here. Of course, there are two on this side, but they're not as big. There's not as many nodes as you're going to find here as in F3 as well as G3. So there's a strong leaning for that part as well. And then you can definitely take a look at the fact that all of the Landsrad nodes are on the west side. It's really strange. You don't see any Landsrad on the eastern side of the map. So when it comes to the end of the map, which you are going to see a lot of action and a lot of people flying around, it's definitely going to be on the west side. Keeping this in mind, there are quite a few places for you to be building bases on the E section if you are trying to get your hands on the spice plumes, the Stravinium, the Titanium, or the Landsrad. And there's also one more thing that we are not talking about, and that is primarily because the west side of the map is basically for the use of going out there and getting these large shipwrecks. As we can see, the majority of the large shipwrecks in the PvP area are all sitting outside in the west side of the zone. Of course, there is one right down here in the corner that you can get to very easily from E5, which is what I'm going to talk about a little bit later for in terms of building in the center. But as you can see, the west side is more or less just a factory built for PvP. So if you are a little bit worried about going out and having to fight with people, I would definitely say that this area is not the side that you want to build in, or you need to be extremely cautious because this whole end of the map itself is going to be really congested with a lot of people trying to get the resources, not only from the three large spice plumes, but the shipwrecks themselves, which are handing out something which is most important, which are those weapons. We can see the queue at the end of the map section talking about what you can find with each of these. And of course, there is just that one lab in case you want to mix things up and do it. And of course, don't forget the Stravinium and Titanium that are out there, and the never-ending amounts of Landsrad positionings which are on that west side of the map. Now, moving on into the east side, what you see is only a single Landsrad point, which is up here in the I6 area. Notice there is no other Landsrad anywhere around this area. So more or less, if you're trying to control stuff for the PvP aspect of that little PvP aspect that is left in the game, it is all going to be there on the west side. This week, the east side is looking pretty calm. And not only that, but it also seems to be that place where you are going to be finding the labs. So if the west side is the place that you want to go get your spice plumes and your Landsrad, with a few additional ships that are put out there. Obviously, the east side is going to be the place for you to go deep diving for those Imperial Lab testing stations. Now, of course, as we did point out, there are 2 large spice plumes that are going to be out here perfectly lined up. So if you want to get the best position for the base, I would say somewhere around this E8 area is going to probably be your best solution or best choice to get out there, because obviously there's nothing here in E9 and E7, completely blank. So whoever can get to E8 first is probably going to have a very good time jumping out there getting stuff. Not only that, but you also have the Shrevenium and Titanium, those that you can reach on this side of the map. Of course, they're not as big as the ones on the other side, but they are still rather large in terms of how many nodes are out there. I think it's like 109 and 119 somewhere in there on either one of them. So getting out on the east side is going to be rather quiet, and I would say that this is more than likely the place that if you are wanting to avoid a lot of PvP action, this is where you want to try to find a home this week in setting up stuff. And of course, the third region that I've marked out for us to be aware of is going to be here out in the center. And I would say this is going anywhere from the 4 lane all the way out to the 7 lane, which you can see that there are quite a few big islands that you can wrap around and get yourself built onto. And of course, this is going to give you access to 2 wrecked ships, as well as 1 spice plume, and of course 1 lab. So if you're wanting to mix it up and kind of get your hands on everything out there that there is to grab, I would say the central point is going to be there, but I would definitely put this on a higher alert system, because I mean, you are going to be on one side very packed with a lot of resources and a lot of POIs that are happening there on the west side, and of course there's going to be the lesser side here on the east. So the mid is probably going to be kind of the warm, so it's kind of the Goldilocks area. It would be more or less, this right here is the hot soup, this is the warm, and this is the cold area. So keep that in mind whenever you're jumping out there this week and you are grabbing stuff. Also, as always, if you are new to the deep desert and you do have a working ornithopter, please make sure that you're jumping out here in the A column and doing all the Imperial testing stations, because once again, this is a free 180 intel points. And of course, moving into what we can actually be looting out here, we will take a look at the loot tables. And of course, the decision that you are making to set up on the east, center, or west side of the map all needs to revolve around what it is you are trying to get. Of course, if you are jumping out there to get something like Hollick's Pick, the Power Harness, the Carterizer, Young Sparky, or the Adaptive Holtzman Shield, Dune Watcher, or the Black Market K28 Las Gun, you might want to be trying to focus yourself right around those PvP testing stations, as that is what will be dropping out of them from the loot table. As you can see, there is other things, so if you're interested in any of those items, please make sure that you're jumping out there to do that. And on the reverse side, if you are more interested in things like weapons, terms of perforator, the replica pulse knife, the replica pulse sword, shell buster, or the disruptor pistol, then you might want to be kind of organizing your base on the side, which is focused more primarily in the middle of the map, because that is where you will get access to the most large shipwrecks out there to be found. Now, of course, smaller shipwrecks can be found all over the map, and they haven't all been discovered yet, so I don't even put them on the map. And you do have the PvP caves, but once again, I try to put this video out as early as possible so that people have the ability to start organizing around the larger picture and where they want to set up their bases. So once again, we will be leaving out the PvP caves. There should be 2 of them that pop up somewhere out there, and if you do reckon to see them, please make sure to leave a comment down in the posts and tell everybody exactly where they're at, so that you can help out the community and help people find all of the PvP caves so that they can go out there and get that loot. And now, my favorite segment of the show, it is time for those shout-outs. That's right, it's my chance to acknowledge all of you great people out there who are taking time to leave comments as well as watch the video and help out other people in the community. You guys are fabulous, and you are worth your weight in spice. Starting off, we have 07 Anson, who says there are 4 loot caves in this week, and 2 of them are PvP and 2 of them are PvE, and gives us the exact coordinates for them. Anson, thank you so much. Once again, you are one of these people who really are helping the community grow, as well as informing individuals on exactly what they should be looking for. You are worth your weight in spice, my friend. Thank you so very much. And next we have Douglas Nash, M40. He says, we call you the John Madden of Dune. Amazing detail and clear descriptions of each POI. Thank you. Wow, Douglas, thank you so much. John Madden of Arrakis, a high honor indeed, my friend. I just hope that my ramblings of POIs do not confuse too many people out there, but I am glad that you guys have found a way to associate me in there, and man, let me tell you, this is a very high honor indeed. Now, go forth and map your destiny, for the desert awaits for no one. Thank you again, Douglas Nash. And next, Michael Putiseri says, the cave on the right side of B4 has erorite crystals. Aretherite crystals on B4, your eyes are as keen as a Freeman's, my friend. Thank you so much. I will make sure to go out there and check that out, and I hope that it's helped other people who are like trying to process stuff out there in the deep desert instead of taking it all the way back into the Haga Basin. You are making it so much better and easier for those people. Next, we have Commanda JKU. He says it is pronounced K-I-N-E-S. Kindness. Thank you. Noted. We thank you for the correction, and proper respect must be paid to the legacy of the Imperial Planetologist, right? So thank you again, Commanda. If you ever hear me make a pronunciation issue, just make sure to point it out there in the comments. I do not mind. In fact, it's helping me out by you doing that. So thank you so very much for taking time to leave that comment for me. I swear I'll never call it anything but kindness. Again, I hope I say it right there. I hope it's not K-I-N-E-S. Anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Next, we have Alex Shomo. I literally wait every Monday for your video. I heavily rely on it to plan my deep desert base. Oh, a fellow strategist. It brings the whole team great honor to be a reliable source for your Monday planning, my friend. May your base designs be strong and your defenses impenetrable. And of course, you have chosen the location which will be perfect and close to the spice. So I appreciate you taking time to leave that comment. You are fabulous. Thank you so much, Alex. I hope that you continue to use the show in order to help you plan out your stuff, and my mission has been accomplished with that. Next, we have Forza Fan 92. He says, don't know if you've been told this before, though you probably have. Your voice is soothing, and what a damn good voice, giving me weatherman vibes. Wow, Forza Fan, a voice soothing enough for Arrakis' harsh climate, you say, huh? I'll gladly accept the title Desert Weatherman, and may my tone always bring clarity to your ears amidst the screaming winds and the shifting sands. Your kind words are deeply appreciated, and I hope to see you out in the desert sometime. Keep it up and continue playing. Thank you so much, Forza Fan. That was very nice of you. Kim1237 says, hey, thank you so much. As I'm a teacher, I don't have much time as I did during the summer. That's right, me either. I also teach. Of course, I'm not teaching primary or secondary school, but I am teaching at a university, so I know the time constraints that can come up for you to do these type of things. So thank you so much to not only watch the video, but take time to leave that comment and support the channel, and also find time in your busy schedule to jump in there and play the game. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you have done this. And that's it for the show today, guys. I hope everybody has enjoyed, and I hope that the information is helping you get ready for this week's Deep Desert Dive. As always, thank you all for giving the shout outs, leaving comments, any suggestions, as well as any information that is helping out the community figure out exactly where they need to go to find different resources. I cover a lot, but I can't cover it all, and you guys are the ones who make this possible. Thanks again, and have a great week.